How do I get myself involved in these challenges? This thing should be called just our Twisted Imagination Challenge. Mousetraps, really? Maybe I should take it apart, send each one of you a piece just bit by bit, and say, Here, you make something out of this. Let's go, y'all. The absolute strangest DIY I have ever made. I'll be using one of these small wood shelves from the Dollar Tree, spoons of my choice, various colors of paint, some clothespins, and one of these, a mousetrap. To start off, I covered two of the holes in my shelf using some of this spackle that I picked up from Walmart, but any spackle will do. I set that aside to dry and went to work on the mousetrap, taking it apart. Yeah, a flathead screwdriver got most of it off. It was pretty easy, except for this little part right here. Did not want to come out, gave me 10 kinds of fits. So, a pair of wire cutters, and I soon had this thing under control. Just like that. Now, I covered the holes on the back of the mousetrap with the same spackle, using a craft stick to spread it smooth and set that aside to dry. Next, my clothespins, we're going to take them apart. I've got various sizes. I've got regular size ones, medium size ones, twist them, and then take off the metal piece, and there you go. So next, we're going to hot glue the flat sides of the clothespins together. I think you can guess what I'm going to do with these clothespins, but I'm not going to tell you. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing with the mousetrap just yet either. I'm going to make you wait and guess because that's just how I roll. Once all my clothespins had been taken apart and glued together, I gave them one coat of the Waverly chalk paint in the color pumpkin just on the top and the sides. I then took some scrap greenery and I'm using that for the tops of the carrots. You could use green raffia, plain colored raffia, twine, whatever you'd like. Make it your own. I want to welcome everybody here. I'm so glad you decided to join me in this video today. Oh, this one is a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of fun. So just sit back and watch what happens with this because I think you're going to like it. So to give a more realistic look to my carrots, I'm taking some burnt umber paint and drawing in those little lines, like grooves that carrots have when you pull them up out of the ground. So that I do that to all my carrots. And I also do it to the sides as well. Welcome all my new subscribers. Welcome visitors. Welcome everybody. I am so glad that you are here today. Now for the spoons, I need 4 of those. And I need 4 of them cut off even with the handle. And you see 2 of them I didn't do that. I will go back and do that later. I'm sanding off 2 of them to be a more oval shape on one end. For 2 of the spoons, I am painting the inside, the back side, and the sides. For the other 2, I'm only going to paint the back side and the sides. It'll all come clear in a minute. You should be getting a pretty good hint right here. Now, these are the 2 that I left the end of the part of the end of the handle on, and I will end up cutting that off. Have you guessed what I'm making yet? You should. So I drew in, or actually painted in, the flesh part of the ears using some cameo pink paint like you see up top there. Now I'm working on the feet using a paintbrush, just kind of lightly making out the pads of the feet of this little critter that I'm about to make. I set those aside to dry. And now I'm using some burnt umber paint that I'm going to make into a stain. Just adding some paint and some water until I get it to the consistency that I like. You can do this with any color, any kind of paint. I just thought this would be something different rather than using the antique wax. I wanted a little bit darker color, and I get tired of using antique wax. Once I get it to the consistency that I liked, I then take my shelf and my mousetrap, and I'm going to place the mousetrap into the center, kind of, well, where I want it. And I'm going to trace that out with a pencil because I don't want to paint that area where I'm going to be gluing my mousetrap to the shelf. So I then just take my watered down paint and go all over the board except for the middle, and then wipe off any excess using a paper towel to get that stained effect. So as I was saying, this video is part of the Just Our Imagination Challenge that is hosted every month by Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY, Kathy Joe from Kathy Joe DIYs, and this month's guest host is Jessica from The Busy Housewife. And they are the three ladies that came up with these must-use items, which was a mousetrap, spoons, any kind, and clothespins. So be sure to check out their channels and the great playlist that will be below. I can't wait to see what everybody came up with using these three items. I know y'all know I'm making a rabbit. Y'all got to know that by now. I know you do. So as you saw there, I just took some hot glue, glued down the ears and the feet. Who knew that you could ever take spoons and make ears and feet for a bunny rabbit? I then took out my pencil and traced a face and just some ovals for the eyes, a cute little nose, and a mouth. Now, a trick that I like to do is I like to erase my pencil lines. You can still see where to paint or where to draw in. It's just that it's sometimes hard to cover those pencil lines up, even with paint or using a paint pen, which is what I'm going to be using. So I go in and I erase all of that. And I love this paint pen. I got it from Hobby Lobby. It's, I don't know, I think it's their brand or something. Pretty inexpensive. I love it. So, outlining the little features, giving the bunny a pink nose using paint. I wish I had a pink paint pen, but I didn't. I placed my carrots down. I'm hot gluing those in place. And I added some of these tiny little flowers that my good friend Tim gifted me. He's been with me from the beginning. So big shout out to Tim for gifting me this wonderful stuff. I added some pastel beads, tied a hanger, and there she is, a mousetrap bunny rabbit. You can now say you've seen it all. And thank you, ladies, for challenging my imagination this month. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And is this something that you would recreate? For DIY number 2, I'll be using one of these wood tray things from Dollar Tree, antique wax. 4 of these flower wood cutout shapes and some of these gorgeous rub-on transfers that I picked up from Amazon. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply the antique wax to my tray using a brush. While that's drying, I'll then take some plaster chalk paint and give one good coat to my shapes. Now you get 12 sheets of transfers in this pack, and each sheet is loaded with gorgeous designs of spring and Easter. They're very easy to apply. And as you see here, I've picked out the ones I want to use. And one tip that I would pass along if you decide to pick these up is the transfer tape, I guess you'd say, that you rub that you see I'm rubbing on there to release it. The release paper, I guess is what it is very sticky. So my advice would be to basically kind of fussy cut as close as you can to the design. Um, that way you don't run the risk of pulling up any of your paint. Now, it really wasn't a problem for me, but I just thought it would be a good idea to do that. Now, these designs are so pretty. And like I say, you get so many on each sheet. Easter, spring. I mean, this piece that we're making, which is a shadow box, is something that can be left up all year long. Now, as you see, these do have kind of a shine to them, so they're not like your typical rub-on transfers. And I picked a neutral enough background for my little wood flowers, but I wanted these rub-ons to blend in better with the background. So I'm using my celery chalk paint and this little stencil brush and going over it very lightly. A very dry brush. So I dab it in the paint and then wipe it off on a paper towel. But it still was a little shiny for me, even using the paint, which did help blend it in. But I think between the paint and this matte Mod Podge, it really made a difference and made them look like they were actually meant to be there. So off camera, I took my wood glue and stacked 2 tumbling tower blocks together. And now I'm going to take each set of blocks and use wood glue and hot glue and attach one set to each of my wood cutouts. Once that glue has had a chance to set up and cure, I will take my little pieces, add some more wood glue and hot glue, and then attach them to each little square of my box. I just felt that these pieces needed to stand out. They needed something to make them pop. So that's why I decided on the tumbling tire blocks. I just didn't want them sitting in there so flat. And as you'll see in the final reveal, these images turned out absolutely gorgeous. I'll have them linked in my description box if you're interested. But this piece, oh, it turned out so farmhouse, spring, Easter. I love the colors. You guys let me know what you think. I think it's just a gorgeous piece. Is it my favorite? I don't know. I like it a whole lot. For this Easter decor DIY, I'm using one of the circle signs from Dollar Tree, some different colors of paint, a napkin, Mod Podge, metal word. I'll need 6 wood eggs and some letters to spell out spring. The first thing I did was to cover the front of the sign with some brown paper because we will be using the back to create our Hello Spring sign. So here I go applying my Mod Podge because my plan is to decoupage the napkin to the sign. Now, what have I done wrong here? I'm applying my Mod Podge onto this brown sign. And I'm leaving this in here on purpose because it's really kind of funny. Anyway, I put that aside to dry and I am attempting to paint this hello word using this beautiful color purple. I can't remember the name of it. It's apple barrel. I can't remember. But what I learned painting metal is you either leave it like it is or you spray paint it. That's really the 2 easiest ways to deal with painting metal words. Next, for my eggs, I'm going to paint 2 yellow, 2 blue, and 2 purple. Now, here comes the funny part. And I left it in here because yeah, one, it's funny, and two, I want to show you guys I'm human. I don't know what zone I was in when I was doing this. So anyway, the Mod Podge had dried. I laid down my napkin, got it down to one ply, and now I'm laying my parchment paper on top. And this is, by the way, a terrific way to decoupage. If you have trouble with wrinkles and whatnot, this method is so good. It's almost foolproof. And I'm taking my little craft iron there and going over the entire area. And what this does, it reactivates the Mod Podge. So I'm just ironing away. And then I went, oh, you can guess what I said. Look at it. I forgot to paint the stupid sign. And I didn't do this just once. I did it twice, y'all. So always have a plan B. I've always preached that. Have a plan B. So here comes out the glue stick and some scrapbook paper. At that point, I was out of the napkins I wanted to use. I only had two. So it's scrapbook paper to the rescue. Guys, I want to thank you all so very much for commenting and sharing and liking, giving me those thumbs up on my videos. It's because of you that this channel is growing so fast. I'm so humbled by everyone's responses. I love reading your comments. Please keep them coming because that's my way of talking to you guys, and that's something that I love to do. So what I did there is I used a combination of Gorilla Super Glue Gel and hot glue for my metal word. I decided where I wanted my eggs and placed them in a circular formation, and I'm attaching down my wood letters. You can use whatever letters you have on hand. All I did to those wood letters was use a white paint pen um, to color them in. I think that's the easiest way to deal with little small things like that. And guys, this sign almost didn't happen. I have to tell you the truth. I almost threw it in the garbage, and I'm like, no, stick with it. Just stick with it. You got plan B. It'll work. And I think the colors just make me so happy. I'm ready for happy, bright colors. I'm ready to see the March flowers pop up. Our trees are starting to bud out. And I mean, here it is, not even really well, I guess we are the middle of February. Today's Super Bowl Sunday. So if you are still here with me in this video, please leave me a football emoji to commemorate that today is indeed Super Bowl Sunday. If you don't have emojis, just type the word football in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm not the world's best bow maker, so what I did was just take 2 strips of ribbon, scrunch them up together, then take a smaller piece of ribbon and tie that, or excuse me, hot glue that around the center to make it look a little better. And then I will attach it down to my sign. Now, you guys have to tell me, I know I'm not the only crafter out there that has done something this stupid. Like, how could I forget to paint my sign? That's one of the rules of decoupaging is you gotta paint your surface so your napkin, you know, it'll look right. I don't know. I have no idea what I was thinking. I guess I was just happy to be crafting and in my own little world. So I added a hanger to this and my bow, and I love this sign. I love all the happy colors in it. I just absolutely love it. You guys let me know what you think in the comments because I value your input so very much. And I hope you have enjoyed these crafts today. Yeah, especially that one. I'm pretty proud of myself for coming up with that. What's my favorite for today? It's got to be the shadow box. That one stole my heart, and I absolutely love it. I love the bright colors of the Hello Spring, but the shadow box took my heart. I want to know which one is your favorite. Please comment down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. Share it out with your friends and family. Leave me a comment. Like I said, that really helps my channel grow. And if you like what you see and want to see more, I'd love to have you join the crafty crew. So be sure to subscribe as well. I know you want to see more spring DIYs. So check out the one that I'm leaving on the screen right now. And until next time, y'all go get your craft on. Bye.